seat around where the current market saturation around this product even is, right? Like, I mean, up until some time ago, I didn't even know that this existed, right? I'm as a young 28-year-old, right? Like this idea to me is like I see it as the future of what my generation is probably going to be doing as far as housing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Dean.
Well, no, I was just going to say I live in the data, so so what's interesting is you think about the demand that you see in the marketplace. We all see in the news, right? And you see that there's housing shortages, there's this and that, and typically as we look at what we call the migration reports, where are people moving from and to? And there's this whole thing of people moving out of California. Well, there's just as many people moving into California that are moving out of California. So there's this whole migration in the country, and I don't know, maybe it's, who knows, maybe it's a southern border. Where are all these people coming from? I have no idea. And I said, you start looking at the map, and there's really no shortage in demand. And the shock to me is that we did all the common sense studies, sort of call it a year and a half, 2 years ago, when we looked at markets that were ideal. And if you look on the website, we have 35 factory locations mapped out based on density, demand, and all kinds of factors, migration, you name it. And they all make common sense, right? And then, like John said, you can ship from any of those locations to wherever you need to go, coast to coast until you hit an ocean. So as you look at it and you think about that, right now we have about 4 or 5 mapped out in the states you would assume, which is California, Texas, Florida. But then we've got them mapped out in all over the East Coast, all over the West Coast, throughout the Midwest. And then the surprises are coming in like Montana, Nebraska. And when we talk to them individually, because they'll come to us, and even though we have plans to map out a certain factory in a certain area, all of a sudden you'll be talking to, we were just on with the whole state of Montana, and they're demanding a factory from us, telling us that they're in trouble. They have so many people coming there, and they have no place for them to live. Or you have the migration of companies like Amazon and Teslas and things like that that are building facilities that have no workforce housing, throughout Texas, throughout everywhere. So now we're almost in a crisis of a crisis, because it's not slowing down. I mean, the good news is, regardless of inflation, regardless of interest rates, people need a place to live. It's just what type of place are they going to choose to live? So where you would think the most density is, yes, it's there. There's a ton of people moving to Florida, a ton of people heading to Texas, a ton of people going to California. But you'd be shocked, Idaho, Nebraska, Montana, the Dakotas. I was like, I'm looking at the numbers, and they're coming on the line with us going, please pick us next. And so we have packages for those people that want full factories, that have the government on board. They can fast track and easily permit. They have the funds and they have the demand. We're here to listen and serve. So does that help, Jared? Did that answer your question?
Totally. And I think it